Hi Raw Food Rehab, this is Nicolette, and long time no see. We had surprise company last week, and I've been so busy ever since we found out just a day before they came, and I had so much to do before they got here, and then we were busy the entire time they got here. And I'm playing catch up for what is proving to be an extremely busy weekend. So anyway, I've had a few questions on the ramen noodle soup that we do. And this is one of the easiest things to do, and it's really fun during the winter, and it's a great way to get my kids to eat zucchini. If you've looked through my photo album, you might see the ramen noodle soup, and it kind of looks just like, you know, the traditional, you know, store-bought packaged ramen noodle soup, except that we were using zucchini noodles. We have a spiralizer. And so anyway, I'm just going to kind of do a quick how-to on how we do it. I got this idea from Each Peach Pear Plum from another, she's a member of another forum. And a lot of like my organization and everything that I do, I actually got from her. And this was an awesome recipe idea. There's more than one way to do this, and I really just consider this kind of a high raw recipe because I'm using a veggie cube. And a lot of times I actually have like a jar of veggie, organic veggie paste. And that works really well too, but this works in a pinch. So I use part of a veggie cube, and I add that to 2 cups of boiling water, or you can just add it to really hot water in your blender, and you dissolve the cube. And then while that's doing that, I usually, if I've got a zucchini, will turn my zucchini into pasta noodles, basically. And then I'll let those drain for just a minute. But while this is still hot, this is something that I get at my local health food store, and it's a dehydrated veggie mix. I don't have a dehydrator, so I can't just chop up my own, this is carrots, onions, it's got a lot in here actually, and it's really tasty. It's completely vegetarian, but sun-dried tomato bits. But I don't have a dehydrator to dehydrate my veggies. She was suggesting that you dehydrate veggies if you really want to. So I take my veggie broth, I add some of this to it. This is going to be my breakfast today. And I'm going to let those kind of reconstitute for a few minutes and just kind of stir it up. And then I'll be, you know, normally working on my zucchini noodles. But since I don't have zucchini, I'm going to show you another option here. These are glass noodles, or cellophane noodles. This one's mung bean starch noodles. We love these. They're easy to use in a pinch. They're fun to eat. And, you know, just one of these, you could probably do half of these per person, actually. Makes a lot of noodles, but it comes in a pretty little bunch here. I've also got some, you know, I've got several different kinds of these noodles, and this is why you should love your Asian market. We get everything from our Asian market almost. We get our red ginseng extract, which by the way has been working fabulous as a coffee substitute. And then we get glass noodles. They've got all sorts of different kinds of glass noodles, made with tapioca, I think, made with mung bean. We also get the wraps. I'm not crazy about those. My husband loves those, but I'm not crazy about those. I love these. So since I don't have zucchini, I'm going to use these. If you can get kelp noodles, use those. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to let it soak. It takes, I think, actually like 10 minutes, unless you're putting this in boiling water. So this is a good meal to just let sit. And then, you know, my husband and I, the other day for a real quick meal, we decided to do this. He made a big pot of veggie broth. And then after we got the veggie broth cleaned, you know, dissolved, we just actually chopped up all sorts of things. We chopped up broccoli, we chopped up carrots and celery, green onions, whatever we wanted to do. And we actually made a version of a raw noodle soup, and it was really tasty. This is really great in the winter. It really doesn't take too long to make, especially if you're going to just use a prepared noodle like kelp noodles. And if you don't want to use the veggie broth, which I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that don't want to, you could probably come up with a substitute with miso. I've tried miso. I didn't like it. It seemed like a real big contrast in flavor, so I didn't play with it very much. I didn't mind the veggie broth cube every once in a while anyway, so this is just kind of how I do it. So I consider it high raw. It's not really 100% raw, but for something kind of warm in the winter and comforting, this takes us back to chicken noodle soup. So we really enjoy it. We don't eat it all the time, but when we do want a soup, we do eat it. And like I said, we had it the other night with a bunch of chopped veggies, and we just let them sit in what was then just nice hot water, a little hotter than what's here, but not hot enough to really cook them, but enough to soften them up. And we gave it a little bit of time so that they would soften up, and it was just the best soup, and it was so easy. But you can use zucchini, you can use squash, anything that you can put through a spiralizer, change it up a bit. And those noodles are so much fun to eat like this. Get a pair of chopsticks out and pretend like you're in high school eating ramen noodle soup or something. So this is my version of ramen noodle soup. And given a little bit more time, these beans will definitely become very pliable. But they're kind of sticky right now, as in stiff, but anyway, the dehydrated veggie mix we get from a bulk section in our health food store, and I really like it. It tastes great, but we also put fresh veggies in here too. So, and my kids love to eat this. This is definitely an easy one to get them to eat during the winter, and you can use almost anything for the noodle. I bet you could do sweet potato noodles if you let it sit long enough or soften them up somehow. I bet that'd be I should try that actually. But anything you can make into a noodle, you can make into the soup. So, a really good soup, really fun to eat, really quick to make. And again, if you don't want to do a processed veggie cube, do miso. Or, sometimes this broth actually, it has a lot of flavor in it. It's got parsley and stuff. You can put this to water. It'd be a little watery, but I've thought about that. But again, like I said, I don't mind using a little bit of a veggie broth or an organic veggie cube. And you don't use the whole thing usually. This is a big cube. So that is how we do our ramen noodle soup. So I hope everybody is doing well at Raw Food Rehab. Penny, Gabby is certainly in our prayers. I'm very sorry about the accident, but I'm very happy that she's doing well. So, what a horrible thing to happen. So, our prayers are definitely with you and your family, and with Gabby, and with the girl, the other girl in the accident. So, anyway, have a great day, everybody. Thank you. Bye.